one of the largest ATM companies in Canada. We're collaborating on working on a payment system to reduce fees and stuff, to make things a little bit cheaper than with some of the alternatives out there. And it's pretty exciting. And I've been just jumping in and joining in the crypto communities and stuff. I've known about Bitcoin, worked with altcoins and everything else for about 8 years, but just want to see what the community's feelings are on certain things and working at making adjustments to help prop up the community while hopefully doing things in a way that keeps people attracted and wanting to visit our site. Learning a lot from it. So signing up to a lot of these things. It's
what you said, Toronto, Canada, Alex?
Sorry?
Did you say Toronto, Canada?
No, I'm in Calgary, Canada.
Oh, Calgary,
Alberta.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay.
But we've got stores across Canada from Victoria all the way to Ontario. And Bitcoin Marketplace is going to launch in Canada, but we've already got suppliers and distributors and everything around the US as well and whatnot to turn on. But we got to start testing it in the market first. And this is the first one where it's going up. It's taken 4 years and a lot of input from the crypto communities out there. I'm also a member of the Canadian Blockchain Consortium. And a lot of these meetup groups are great to hear what the community thinks about a lot of things. It's there's a lot of confusion out there. There's a lot of different things taking place. There's and without the feedback from people in the community, you don't really know where you're going sometimes with some of it. And it's very important. And it's amazing how much some of the people can enlighten you and how many companies are willing to work together right now. It's an industry that isn't really, it's very different because it's not cutthroat right now. Everyone's trying to make it succeed. And it's quite interesting to see how many people and how many businesses are willing to work with you to make things better mutually and improve everything for the community and try and make Bitcoin a common standard out there, something that is here to stay. It's pretty obvious that's the case already now at this point, but to see the enthusiasm and everybody trying to continue growing this and improving it is just great. It's an exciting time to be a part of this stuff. So
yeah, thank you, Alex. Welcome.
Thank you.
Anyone else? I see.
Yes, my name is Carmine. Pretty much on here just to get some more information on it and see there's a way for my future in it somehow for an investment purpose type. And I just wanted to get some more information on it. I've been following it for the past 3 years. Missed the boat a little bit. And that's it.
Are you new or you're still just learning, Carmine? About
just learning.
Bitcoin? Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. Okay. No, you didn't miss much in this. No, when I said I missed the boat, it's still Bitcoin. That whole industry is very new, and it's trying to figure out its own identity. I think COVID-19 is like blessing for Bitcoin.
Well, that's right. I said that too because when I first purchased it, I had about $800 worth at a time, and I sold it at $3,000, and then all of a sudden, bang. And I mean, I knew it was going to happen, but I didn't think it was going to happen that quick. Let's put it that way. So now I just heard there's a prediction of $1 million.
Yeah, all kind of ridiculous number.
Yeah, but they predicted 100,000, but I never thought it would get to 56. You know, so the 1 million is possible.
And you never know. Nobody knows. Nobody knows if it's going to go back to again 10 grand. We have seen it, right? We have seen those who is with crypto from the beginning. We have seen crypto touched 18,000, 19,000. It went back to below 3,000. Came back up, right?
Yeah. So I think the pandemic helped a little bit, and I'm just looking for something in between now. You know.
Yep. Right.
To write it out.
Yeah, we'll see. Well, you'll have your time. Just keep learning. Thank you. Thanks for the update, Carmen. By the way, which state are you in, Carmen?
Connecticut.
Oh, Connecticut. You are all
right next to New York, right there, right on the border, 56 miles away.
Oh, cool. Yeah, your neighbor.
Yeah.
Okay. Anyone else? new to crypto?
Yeah, hello everyone. My name is Azhar Hussain. I'm new, and this is my first call here. I am a manager in Deloitte. I work in mostly life sciences industry, and I'm based out of New Jersey in Montgomery Township. It's near Hillsborough, and I have met you, Mushi Bhai. I don't know if you remember. I met you, I think, at a Khan Baba Halal shop, I believe.
Oh, okay.
I was volunteering with you to deliver some food to the motel near.
Oh, I see.
Yeah.
Cool. Awesome.
So I'm not new to crypto in terms of knowing about it. I have been tracking it from like 2015, but I never bought it. So I'm just here to see if I really have to invest in it, and if there is opportunity to make some money here.
Yep. Okay. Yeah. Welcome, Azhar. Okay. Let's go ahead and get started. Anyone else? If you want to go ahead. Want to introduce yourself, Stephen? I see. Again. Thank you, everybody. If you can share your video, it's nice to see the people. On the other end. That way, the speakers and others they don't feel like they're left alone. All right. Okay. So, first of all, though I know here it looks like a lot of people are new. So let me share my desktop. You see my desktop, right? A little bit about myself. Like I said, I am Mushi Bhuiyan. I am a founder of this nonprofit organization, Urban Food Alliance. It's a 501c. We are 501c3 organization. Urban Food Alliance is a food bank. That's all we do. We help people. We founded 2018, and then when we founded 2018, then 2019, and then 2020. What happened? One of the things we are seeing that people face when you go through some kind of food insecurity. Then we wanted to find the root cause of that, and then I thought, why not we just teach people how to manage money better, and then and same time, and a lot of our the donor and others are interested to see, like, hey, is there any way we can go a little bit deeper? And that's how UrbanHood was born. So UrbanHood, main goal of UrbanHood is just teaching people the financial literacy and in their investment, short-term, long-term, and all of those. You are welcome to visit our website, urbanhood.org. When you go on the website, upper right side, you'll see a lot of resource. Upper right side and the left side is free. You can take advantage of any of those that interest you. And we do not only crypto, mostly we're very active with stock trading. Those who is doing stock, that we daily we offer some of those resources, tips, and share our ideas, and also when we trade, we share our trades with others. So today in our community, about 5,000 members in our community. So we share with one another when we trade. And I myself is the part-time. When it's a part-time, I trade pretty much full-time. Last 2.5 years I've been doing that.
Yeah, but for me. You got through the first round yet? Your heart rate's come down to 160. Oh.
If you are not speaking, please mute your line. Thank you. Okay. So that's about me. So now I guess we have done this session before. So we thought today, to make it interesting, we are not going to talk about Bitcoin. I'm assuming most of you know Bitcoin. If anyone in this group doesn't have any clue what is Bitcoin or cryptocurrency. Anyone? You get. So Slavina, if you do not, then we're going to dive into the topic. Like, we want to talk about cryptocurrency today. We'll introduce you a couple currency that we have already prepared. Is going to talk about a couple currencies, and then we're going to take some questions, or we can make this interactive. But I see that there are some people that this is the brand new to them. So imagine Bitcoin. Imagine we all know about gold. that many years ago that when all this country came up with their fiat currency, the paper money, they backed that paper money with the gold. But at some point that each country, when they started printing new money, that they are not backing with the gold, they just print money based on whatever reason, and they're doing it, and it's controlled by the country. Each country can create their own currency. Then throughout the whole years that we have seen that there is a lot of money supplies in the market. It has nothing to do with anymore, the backed by gold or silver or any other asset. So since 2008 that they came up with this whole concept about the Bitcoin. This Hitoshi and Nakamachi is a person or the group of people who came up with this whole concept of the currency, making a digital currency which is more secured. Think of that as the gold 2.0, where you have currency, you are not controlled by a government. It is like mostly controlled by the people. It's just very secure. Everybody is going to see everybody is going to see see all those what's going on. At the same time, there are not everybody is going to see how much who has it, but there will be security in place. But the transaction or reason behind is limited. Just like gold is limited, the Bitcoin that they came up with a lot of mathematics, digital, the software, the technology, high technology is built in with that. So that kind of came up with a limited that there will be 21 million Bitcoin. That's it. There won't be any more Bitcoin coming in. So right now in the market, there is 18 million already discovered. 3 more million still is out there. It's not discovered yet. But once that happens, that's it. And after that, it's just like it's going to be with the transacting one another, and also demand and supply. Some of you already know Tesla and Treasury and a couple others are also other business are also getting into Bitcoin. So we're in investing in Bitcoin and so on, right? But again, and it is not like it's going all-time high. Whatever goes up, when it comes to investment, there is always things can go down. So even if you are hearing when people are saying it can go million, it can go stuff, fast it has to touch 100K. But many places are resource what I am learning, or we're doing research, and that there we're seeing that it says by 2024 2015 it might touch not 2024 2025 it might touch 100K, not like next month or next in 3 months 6 months. Again, you never know, but that's what I'm hearing. But sometimes you have to be realistic, how far it can go, keep going higher, right? Things pull back. We have seen that happen. Bitcoin, if you look at the history of Bitcoin, that last since it came in 2012 in IPO, last 4 years, every 4 years it goes through a cycle. Now it's up cycle, it can go down. So I would not be too much getting into knowing that, hey, I missed my chance. You will have your opportunity. All right. So now I'm going to pass the floor to Todd. He's going to be share with you a couple of currency. So think of that Bitcoin is the first one that came up, that the digital currency, right? It's almost like the fast food. In the fast food, McDonald's is the first one. So then what happened? There is other currency came in, Ethereum, or some says Ether and ETH. That's the second one. It's almost like Burger King, second one you can think of, right? But then and then there are more like something Litecoin is for day-to-day transaction and day-to-day spending buying coffee, and these you can use Litecoin, other coin. Each coin has its own application. Todd is going to touch up with that. But again, know that only Bitcoin is the only one, like gold 2.0 is limited. It's not going to be unlimited. But there are others They are not like Bitcoin. It's just like digital coin, okay, or cryptocurrency. So now, floor is to you, Todd. And
how's it going?
Ankur is in the room or not yet?
I messaged him. He didn't come on.
Okay.
So, well, that's
all right,
fine.
let's go. How are you doing?
Okay, so a little about me. I am a semi-retired mechanical engineer. I learned about, I do a lot of e-commerce and some stock trading, and I'm learning. I've been interested in Bitcoin since I first heard of it in 2011. I first acquired some in 2013. Not nearly enough, but everyone always says that. But I followed it a lot. I'm far from an expert. There's tons of people who work in this space, who code in this space, who build software upon software, who mine coins, who run projects, and I'm just kind of a regular guy who's been interested in a while. I typically am an early adopter in most things that I find interesting. So for me, it's just a new thing, and I know that a lot of people don't understand anything at all. So just getting a little bit of knowledge and stacking that knowledge to learn. I think one of the things that people don't realize, especially Lakshmi was asking in the chat, there's thousands of coins. Like, yeah, Bitcoin was first, and there were some problems with it, so they created some other coins. In general, I think of Bitcoin as a store of wealth, not like a day-to-day currency, as like a gold type thing where you're going to buy it and keep it and have it for forever, as a piece of value that you don't walk around with a bar of gold to buy things. You don't walk around with Bitcoin to buy things. And there are other coins that are meant for currency, and Bitcoin is not one of those. One of the reasons is that it is slow. So it takes 10 minutes for a transaction, and to like confirm that transaction really went through, you want to wait a few transactions. So it could be like 30 to 60 minutes, where a regular cash transaction might take, just a couple seconds. So Bitcoin's not used for that. People say cryptocurrency, but don't think of it as currency. Ethereum was created to do a lot of things. So it has something called smart contracts, and that's basically people can write apps. They can write their own program to run on. I can't figure out who's talking. Oh, here we go. They write basically a program that can operate on the blockchain, and that program can function as website hosting, as a vending machine for making a transaction to buy something from someone. Like say you want to set it up so if somebody comes to mow your lawn, so if I hire Mushi to come mow up my lawn, you could set up a contract that would say, hey Mushi, I promise to give you these $40. Well, these 0.004 Bitcoin if you come mow my lawn, and that can be coded in there as a contract, and it's immutable. Like no one can change it. It's written there, it's fixed, and then it's going to stay forever for everyone to see that he agreed and I agreed, and if the condition happens, then the result would happen. So that's something that's not really possible on Bitcoin, but it is possible on Ethereum network. One of the issues that people came across with Ether right now, so like Ethereum is the name of the project and Ether is the name of the coin. A lot of people have used Ethereum to build so many different things. A few years ago, they used Ethereum to create new cryptocurrencies. So like there are other coins, there are tokens, there are other cryptocurrencies that exist like on the Ethereum blockchain. And since so many things have been built there, and since it's being used so much right now, Ethereum their network is very clogged and their transaction fees are very high. So it might cost, at some point $50, $60 to do a transaction on the Ethereum blockchain, where, that doesn't really make sense if you're trying to charge somebody $40 to mow your lawn. It's going to cost you $100 to do, and you're wasting the fees. So there have been lots of other projects more recently a lot of projects that have a lower transaction fee or are less decentralized. Because one of the reasons that Ethereum costs so much is because they've got these transactions spread across the whole world. And there's another project called Cardano, and that one has its coin called ADA, and this one has a very different network. It's still blockchain, where like the last transaction matter. You can't do the next transaction unless you know what happened in the previous transaction. They're chained together. That still happens, but it's not everyone working all the time focusing on trying to solve the same problem. Like it's not all the computers in the world working together to compute the next block. It's more like a designated person is assigned, and that person forges the next block. So they don't put all their eggs in one basket and like everyone, or they don't like everyone compete against each other and use up a lot of electricity trying to fight to find the next block. They spread it out, and they say, all right, Mushi, it's your turn. Alex, it's your turn. Steven, it's your turn. And they go in order like that, and everyone knows. So it's a little less decentralized than Ethereum is, but it's like a give and take, because you get these lower transaction fees and less electricity use. Cardano's not anywhere close to where Ethereum is right now. Like right now, there's hundreds of different applications on the Ethereum network. There are thousands. There's a whole lot of them, and nothing's really happening yet on the Cardano network. But Cardano's setup, it's called proof of stake, where Ethereum and Bitcoin, they use proof of work. Cardano's setup is really, really interesting because it allows for really cool things. There's governance that's part of it. There's the actual use of currency. Their focus on Africa as where they're targeting to use currency, because I saw a stat earlier where it said like 90% of Africa is unbanked, meaning they'll carry around cash with them or hiding it in their houses. Where here, not everyone, but almost everyone in America and North America has a bank account, at least, and you don't have that option sometimes because the infrastructure is not there in some sub-Saharan African countries. So Cardano's trying to address that, and you still need an internet connection. Like there's still hurdles, but it's less infrastructure needed to be able to transact and not carry your life savings around with you, and who knows what could happen. A bank account or some sort of banking where crypto banking or hardware keys or hardware wallets or wallets in your phone versus trusting a third party gives you some benefits, and that's a huge deal with what Cardano is working towards. And another neat thing is that, like, the way that U.S. money works, that we saw with the government giving out, printing more money and taking on more debt and making more dollars, that's not something that can happen as easily with newer networks. So like Bitcoin, it's already set. It's been set for a decade of when new coins come out onto the market. Ethereum can change where Bitcoin can't really change. They tried to change it a few times, and they would split, and Bitcoin SV, Bitcoin Cash, Litecoin are splits from that original plan. So Bitcoin SV is actually the original one, but they've changed it a few times. And these are basically changes to parameters in the network where we want the number of transactions that can happen at once. When they tried to change that, instead of them being able to edit a variable, they have to create a new a fork. And that's what I was saying to in the chat earlier. To make changes before, you have to basically start over and hope people move. So that happened. I remember when I think it was Bitcoin Cash came out, and basically everyone who had one Bitcoin also got one Bitcoin Cash. So they split it, and then there were two. And that's happened several times. It happened with the Satoshi Vision, a whole bunch of forks. Every time there was a fork like that, you'd get one on both chains. And some people sold it or kept both. And then the miners would help and join on both. With Ethereum, you can code it, and they've published papers, and people would discuss them, and that happened recently, and they're going to change over to like a new setup. They're changing some variables. If you're interested, you can look up. It's EIP 1559, I think it's called, like in Ethereum improvement protocol number 1559, proposal 1559, and that's going into effect in July. And allegedly, that's supposed to change the gas fees. It's going to like make it more predictable what the gas fees are, where right now they can fluctuate. But what I really like about the Cardano project is, instead of it being a central authority that makes these decisions, where like government central authority making decisions, Bitcoin, the original programmers are people who are working on maintaining the code, forking it, or Ethereum, people writing papers and choosing what's best. In Cardano, everyone gets a vote, and the more Cardano that you have, the more say that you have in what happens. It's called a governance, and if you've got more of these coins, then you have more of a say in what happens in the project, whether it's changing a variable or funding improvements to the blockchain. So Cardano has like it's a little complicated, like how it works, and I don't fully understand, but basically Cardano has money, and I think the money comes from each transaction, where that money gets saved, and then you can like apply for a grant against that money that's saved, and then everyone else can vote and say, yeah, we like this idea, this guy wants to make this project, or this group wants to make this project, and everyone gets to like peer review. You peer review the proposal. So someone will write a paper, write a proposal, and say, I need $100,000. I need 100,000 Cardano, or I need 100,000 ADA from the Cardano project to fund this work. Do you all agree? And then everyone can vote, and people can say, yeah, we want that, we like that. I mean, that's my understanding of it. And then you can set up milestones. So yeah, you get 100,000, but you only get 50 at first. And if you do these certain things, then more will be given to you. So it's like a really neat thing. I'm going to share my screen a little bit. I don't have a ton more content. I'm just kind of talking. Again, I'm like far from an expert, but I'm just letting you know what I know to spark a discussion, and maybe people have more questions. Share screen. Share. You can see my screen, huh? All right, I'm gonna go on the assumption that you can see it. Wait.
Todd, yes, we see your screen.
Oh, here we go.
We see your screen, Todd.
Cool. What I want to talk about. Here's a website called CoinGecko. There's also CoinMarketCap. There's a whole lot of different websites that kind of list all the coins that are in existence. And right now I have it sorted by market cap. And some people look at ADA, which is $1.24, and they look at Bitcoin, which is 57,000 today, and say, well, how come Bitcoin's worth $57,000 and Cardano's worth only $1? And they'll say, well, if Cardano's so much better than Ethereum, and Ethereum's at 2,100 and this is only $1, for sure Ethereum's going to go up to $2,000 or at least $100. And I think that's super important to understand that that's not the way that money works. The price of Bitcoin is based on how many coins there are and how much money people have spent on Bitcoins so far. So the market cap, this is the number of coins that are out there, which is about 18 million, times the price is the market cap. Or you take the market cap and divide it by the number of coins that are out there. And that's like defined in the project. So you can look up the white paper. You can get more information on each one of these by clicking on each one. It's being slow. But it'll say in here, fully diluted valuation, circulating supply, 18,675,000, max supply. So if you like divide the total amount that's been spent on Bitcoins that's like currently out there by the supply, then you get the price. So there's only 21 million Bitcoin, but if you look at the Cardano project, there's $40 billion in it, and there's currently whatever this number is, 1,000 million, 32 billion coins out there. So if there's $39 billion and 32 billion coins, 39 divided by 32 is about $1.20, and that's what the coin is trading at right now. So you can't just look at this. You can't just look at this number, like the price number, and say that's better or worse than any other coin. Like there's one down here that's 37,000 or 60. It's a yield farming coin. I don't know. There's lots of coins. See, I can sort coins by price. That's what I'll do and be able to see it. I thought I could sort coins by price. I think that you get the idea. Not all here. No. I don't know where the coin is, but there's a coin down here. Like Maker is a coin that's worth $2,000, and Ethereum Classic's only $17. And it's not because this one's better than this one or anything. It's because of the number of coins, the number of money that's out there. So yeah, knowing that is important. I'll also compare coins all the time. So I think I don't do a whole lot of trading, but I do a small amount. This one is the chart where I'm comparing Ethereum's price versus Bitcoin's price over time. And this is many months. So this is back at 2020. So in September, October of 2019, we kind of had a shift where the value of Ethereum divided by the value of Bitcoin was going down, meaning like ETH was losing value compared to Bitcoin. And we had a shift, like a change. And at this point, overall, over time, the value of Ether was increasing compared to the value of Bitcoin. So you have these like, steady fluctuations where these are just lines that I drew that were kind of like measuring the trend. And overall, I've seen this trend that over time, like over a short time period, only for the last 2 years, ETH's been going up. And it's always in January that it goes up a lot. So here's like the beginning. Here's the beginning of January. And this happens often. So the beginning of January 2020, ETH shot all the way up to the top. And they came back down. And then if I look and find the next January was here, right? So it went all the way up again. So this year I traded. I took some, not all of it, because it's not like a guarantee that this is going to happen. But it happens often. And I said, well, it happened before. It might happen again. I'm going to look at the history. So I shifted. I traded. Like I sold some Bitcoin and bought some ETH. And it's not guaranteed that it's going to happen next year, but it was like, something that I was willing to bet on, saying, hey, it's super low. This is trading low against my line that I had drawn. I think that it's going to turn around and it's going to kind of bounce off this line. So this number here where I'm hovering, it's like a point. It's like 0.025. So like 1/250th of Ether of Bitcoin is worth an Ether. So you make that exchange, and then it can go up, and it's gone up a bunch. And when I got up to this line again, you better bet I sold again. So you switch it back, you sell some ETH back. You never get right at the top because you might not know exactly where the top is. But even if you do it here, halfway down, and then trade back on the way down, and it bounced again. And I was watching it, and this is super recently, and we had a big bump in one day. It went up. We're on 1 week, but this was last week, and it's gone up a whole lot. And I feel like, I don't know, but I feel like it's going to continue and go up more. So it might happen. So, when it gets higher, then I might consider moving it back from ETH back to Bitcoin. Like over the long haul, if you zoom out here, this one doesn't go back because it's from Coinbase, but like overall, Bitcoin's gone up more than Ether has. So if you're playing like a super long play, it's probably better to hold only Bitcoin. But on these short-term swings, you can see you can get, this isn't Bitcoin shooting up. This is ETH versus Bitcoin shooting up. So I think that while you're in these short-term swings, it's better to have more ETH than it is Bitcoin. Here's ADA's chart. The red line is the 20-week moving average, and the green line is the 21-week exponential moving average. And we can see it like bouncing off and moving away. As I can pull up ADA ETH. So this is comparing ADA to Ethereum, and it's shot up. Like this was a couple months ago, last month. I can't remember exactly. What does it say? January, February. It's skyrocketed like against Ethereum, which has been moving up. ADA has moved up a lot. Now ADA is like not nearly as developed as Bitcoin is, as Ether is, because tons of people work on the Ethereum network, and like there's lots of different software applications and things built out, and Cardano moves slower, I think by design, that they like check and recheck and focus on it. But it's definitely people are very excited about it for the reasons I spoke of earlier. So I think more and more people learned about it over the last few months, and it really shot up from then. I think it was around 11 cents for a while, and then like 17 and then 30 cents. I just have the against Ether chart up. But if you're just looking here, like this is market cap here. So it was hanging out here around 10, 11 cents, and then jumped up to like 17 cents, and a lot of people were talking about it. And you saw some buzz on Facebook, and this is like, it was around 30, 40 cents. So people were talking about it, and it's been, skyrocketing. We peaked up around $1.40, which was what it peaked at before. $1.38. This chart this is just from like one exchange. We're on Kraken. We're pulling data from Kraken, which wasn't available back before. But last cycle in 2017, ADA shot up to $1.38. So once we got to $1.38, it kind of like had resistance, and that's where we're right now. So I mean, nobody knows if this is going to be the top. It's going to stay right here near the peak from before, from that resistance, or going to come back down, maybe to the moving average, or maybe it'll break through and go up and keep extending. No one really knows. But a year ago, ADA was worth like less than 5 cents. It was super cheap. So I think people are very excited about that. I don't look at this too often. I think it's a good overview also of seeing what's happening. I'll use CoinGecko a lot to like look at the top coins. Some I just don't pay attention to. XRP is one of the ones I just don't pay attention to, but the last day or so it really skyrocketed. We're up over $1 now. So I noticed that on here when it was like super green and flashy. But yeah, this is FinViz, is a tool that Mushi uses a lot to look at stocks, and we noticed today that it's got a crypto section, and it shows you, I guess, 15 different pairs. Some of them is like XRP against the euro, and then we saw XRP against the dollar. So it just has a few: Bitcoin Cash, XRP, ETH, Litecoin, Bitcoin. It's just kind of showing how they're doing. At a quick glance, you can see ETH is down over the last day, but ETH Bitcoin's up over the last day, and it's like quick to see this is red, this is green. So it's a quick just look at it and see what's going on. This is a totally different topic, but a tab that I had left open that I wanted to show you. I was working on this today. I'm modifying someone else's code to kind of get it to fit the way I want. These are Fibonacci bands, but tracked over a logarithmic curve, fit to data points that it's pulling from the Bitcoin chart. It's like logarithmic regression. So I think the terms are more complicated than, it doesn't matter. But basically, like, people always talk about how Bitcoin's volatile, and that's why like my dad won't invest in it. He's like, oh, it's so volatile. But if you look over time, like overall, it's going up, and you can see these big spikes. And here, even where we currently are, and this is a super long time frame. Like this chart starts at 2011, this is the 2013, 2014 spike, 2017, 18 spike, and this is where we are now at 2021. So it's not fit perfectly the way I want, but you can kind of like see how close we are to a peak that we had in the past. So this top curve, and we're here at the top here, and this one peaked at the same one here, like this one here is coming. So like a lot of people are saying 100K, like where does that number come from? If you look at like this curve here, I'm just guessing. It's not like financial advice or anything, but it's close. It might never get up into the red one. You know, this is only like pinned down in a couple spots to try and match what we saw. But like down here, yeah, it's going up, but relatively cheap compared to where it goes up in a spike. And volatility, when looked at over time in a logarithmic chart, is not as crazy as my dad might think, or most people might look at. It kind of looks like it's like going up at this line, right? So who knows? It might, this red, this is the month. So this red month might be the top, and we might be there. Who knows? Or it might go up a little more. But say it just happens to go up at this straight line and hits the top of the red one, just like it did last time. That's at 106. If it takes longer to get there, and then we hit the red, if it extended out to here, so that's 170. So it's all conjecture and nobody knows, but it's just something I wanted to look at. So those are all the tabs that I had prepared. I didn't look at the chat because I have too many things open, but I'll open that now, but also open it or hand it back to Mushi.
And thank you, Todd. I think this is really helpful. Like I see a lot of questions from the chat on the right side.
Yeah, I'm gonna go through and read these and respond either by voice or by talking, or anybody else. Like I guarantee you, I'm not the person here that knows the most about crypto. Right. I'm sure there are people there that know things I don't know.
Yeah, I just wanted to. I should have made it clear at the beginning, saying that guys, we are not, by all means, we are not expert. We are learning, just like anyone else. Some of us spend more time reading topics or joining other crypto sessions, trainings that we have done, but still this industry is so new. There are so many things happens, and there is so many good things and bad things, and so many people get kind of spammed with and lose money, and so many OS. Just like any business you invest, there is good business, bad business. You have to filter through and just learn. So we'll answer with the best knowledge what we know of, and then we want you to do your own due diligence too. Okay. I see some people are mentioning about government and what's happening. As you know that China banned Bitcoin, and India is doing that. But one thing, when we started earlier, when we gave you introduction, this whole Bitcoin came up with the idea, how can people have transparency, and people are not going to devalue their asset. It's an investment. It's not like you buy and this. Then, so if your dollar or the money, whatever currency you are looking at in your country, that due to inflation, you're losing value of that. What do people do? To secure their asset, people buy gold. That's what they have done before. They know that gold is limited. Crypto came up. But then that gave all the government, all the countries scared. If people are they are losing control of their fiat currency, what will happen? So that's why some countries, even China, already announced they're going to come up their own cryptocurrency, which is, I think, we shared in the crypto room. They already announced their China already has a digital one is already there. Other countries are coming in Sweden, and a couple other countries are also is going to create their own digital currency. But how that going to be tied with the Bitcoin, we don't know yet, because it's still it's unknown. We'll figure out how all the regulation going to work together and see how they can embrace Bitcoin. But one thing we all know, Bitcoin is limited. and hopefully that's people in the country and the government and all the other countries in the world might find some reasonable solution to adopt crypto. On business like Tesla and real estate and even Starbucks, and Pizza Hut, all those businesses are accepting it. What will happen? People, honest people, government cannot deny that oh, we are going to ban the crypto. We know a lot of fight with the government and this because government do not want to lose their fiat currencies regulate the power, right? So we'll see. But right now we do not know. But somebody asked a question: if you put $50,000 today to buy a Bitcoin, where is my money goes?
I think it's easiest to think about it like stock market. Like someone selling it. If no one sells it, then you can't buy it. If no one's selling it, if only a few people are selling and everyone wants to buy it, then the price goes up. People will pay more. So yeah, you can buy a Bitcoin from me. I will give it to you, and it costs $67,000 or what, $58,000, whatever we're at. That's just a standard. So a lot of times the exchange will hold it, so it's not like a liquidity issue where, if you're buying it from Coinbase, for example, like they have a whole bunch of coin in their account, and when you buy it, you can buy it from them instead of from another person. But that's basically how it works. Is you're buying it from someone else. So whether it be a company or a person.
Okay. Yeah, thanks, Todd. So yeah, like what Todd mentioned, if you buy Bitcoin or any of those currency, just think of this like PayPal. If you buy or even when Todd mentioned about opening an account with your broker, that to buy a stock, what happens? You are connected with your bank, certain with the authentication, you have to go through it. Once a bank with your broker and yourself, all the paperwork in place, your bank account is in place, then you go ahead, buy the stock or whatever stock or future, whatever asset that you're qualified to buy. The same way, there are systems are already in place, certain are is not. So if you let's say somebody buying a Bitcoin from one of those broker and then yeah, you have to look into it. Is this a stock you're buying in Bitcoin or you have a physical currency you're buying? All right, those you have to see, and then you have to do certain same measure of security. And that's where the learning curve comes.
I think part of it has to do with like if you trust the stock market, because I mean it's been there for 100. I don't know how long it's been there. 100 years.
More than 200 years, right?
Okay, and you trust the U.S. government. It's been there for 260 years or whatever we're at. I don't know. Then I think maybe buying a cryptocurrency stock is the same as buying the cryptocurrency. But like if the stock market turns off, like, or if the U.S. government closes, think big picture. There hasn't been an empire that's lasted more than 300 years, really. So what could happen? And it happened. It has happened in countries. Or if like you can't take your stock of gold and cross the border and spend it in the UK if the US shuts down. Like you can take your bar of gold and do it, but you can't do it if it's like a stock. So I think that's like a big important difference if you're just looking at it that way. I think the whole point, Bitcoin came out from the financial crisis from like Occupy and real estate crashing and everything back in 2009. Like it started from that Occupy movement and that whole idea. It started right around then, at least. That if you're gonna like get this thing, which is it's not anti-government, but it's like anti-dollar, and you're looking at that and then using dollars and reinvesting back in the same system where you don't have control and you're trusting a third party again. Yeah, I just wouldn't. Your question is, can you buy it on the stock market? And the answer is kind of, but why would you want to? That's my answer.
We just do not have enough to go through all those comments in there. in the chat. But if you want to anybody want to unmute yourself and share anything that Todd shared, or you have a question, yeah, by all means, please do.
Like, yeah, maybe I said a lot of stuff, but over the last, what's been a half hour or whatever, like, I don't know nearly as much as just watch YouTube videos. Like, there's so, like, you could, I promise you can spend your last hour better watching YouTube videos than just talking to me. I know a very, very little amount.
Todd, just a quick question. So some of these coins are not have an unlimited supply, right? So are those controlled, or is it owned by a private organization sometimes? So how do we choose that? And when you are spending money on these coins, is it like you are funding that project, if you like a VeChain and XLM kind of stuff? Is it something you're indirectly funding the concept, or
yeah,
how do we get
I would
benefit?
say
Yeah.
It's like funding the project. It's not necessarily like, it's not the same as like venture capital injection of cash into a company, but like the more money that, you know, the higher the value of a coin, the more people are going to work for that coin. So I think that, yeah, it is funding if you buy ADA, it is funding the project, because, you know, their central supply can go up because it can be worth more. Your first question was, I forget. Can you remind me?
How do like if there's an unlimited supply and
okay,
like
it's
some of them has, yeah.
None of them are really like unlimited, but it'll tell you like how many are currently out there. Like, there's a fixed cap for Bitcoin. There's not going to be more than 21 million. For Ethereum, there's a set amount, and we know how much it goes up each time. But every time there's more Ethereum transactions, there's more Bitcoin. There's more coins created. But it's like a known rate. So it's not just like limitless, and then there's just going to appear twice as many, and then the value is going to drop by half all of a sudden. It's a known amount. Sometimes there's just like so many. I guess the best thing I can say, like it's the wrong answer, but the best thing I can say is only buy coins that are in the top 100 on CoinMarketCap or CoinGecko. I mean, it's not the right answer, but like, you can look into the project and read the paper. The Bitcoin white paper is 9 pages long. It's written so anyone can understand it. It's like, you should understand that if you're going to buy it. So I, suggest that you read a project and learn about the project before investing in the project, the same way that you do it with any other stock. Like, don't just buy a stock because your friend said it's going to go up. We all know what happens when you just buy a stock just randomly. Just educate yourself and learn about the project.
Yeah, thanks, Todd. Yeah, makes sense.
So I've got a quick question. Estella prompted this earlier when you were talking about some of the technical charts. You talked about Fibonacci lines. Do you understand what the various different Fibonacci lines are and why they are so important to the technical analysis capabilities?
Do I understand what they are? Yes. Do I understand why they're important? It's because in the past they've exhibited results. So like, why does technical analysis work? It's just because, well, it did this thing in the past. The last time it was in this situation. So maybe if it's presented with the same situation in the future, it'll happen again. It's just like, people won't keep buying forever. At some point, enough people are going to get scared. I'm going to say like law of nature, but really just like a big enough mass of people get worried at a certain amount, and they'll then say, once it gets up to like twice as much as it was before, I have this mentality where it's like, that's a lot. I might sell now because I'm up double what I was. And these Fibonacci lines are basically based on that style of thing. It doesn't have to be once it's up double, it's once it's up a certain amount, and that like certain amount kind of fell into place, and we see that that's happened in the past. But
so let me ask you this. I mean, can you explain Fibonacci lines in a little bit more detail? And specifically, when I hear technical analysis, I hear about very specific Fibonacci lines. a 618 line, a 716 line, what are those critical lines, and what is a Fibonacci line, and can you define it for us?
Well, that 618 is exactly, like, I'm by far not the right person to ask this. Type it into YouTube and they'll explain it better. The 618 is like the golden ratio. So it's when the number that the previous number divided by the current, the previous Fibonacci number in a sequence divided by the current Fibonacci number in that sequence will approach the ratio of 1.618. That's where that's derived from. And then there's like a next Fibonacci line that's at 100% more than that. So like 2.618. There's a Fibonacci line drawn at 50% where it's like, hey, it's gone up 50% to this point. So they're all based on some sort of ratio. Like I think one of them is based on if you check the number 2 before. So like 1, 1, 2, 3, 5, you take like the 3 and then the 8, which is the next one, divide 3 by 8. And then you keep going like that in the sequence and it will get another number. But this is totally outside the scope of the talk tonight. Just like look up how to Fibonacci sequences, how to resist and support bands for Fibonacci work. If you look that on YouTube, I think they'll be able to explain it much better than I.
Okay, sounds good. Thanks, I appreciate it.
Okay. Anything else?
Yeah, what's your thought on this Dogecoin? It seems like Elon Musk and Mr. Cohn are propagating that, but it seems like it's a meme coin. But
yeah, it's absolutely a meme coin. I don't think Elon Musk, like if you really read his quotes about it, he's just saying it off the cuff, and then a reporter will write, "Hey, he said this," and like, yeah, he said that, but not really. Yeah, there's no project there. Nothing's happening there. There's a whole lot of them, and they're not worth a lot. It was literally created not to be useful. So I think it's a huge gamble. Nobody's planning on using it for anything or developing projects on it or anything at all with it. Where like Cardano's goal, like to help people who are unbanked and like create like actual currency where, you know, a country can't just be devalued their currency overnight, where it happened in Egypt where it, you know, was 8-to-1 to the dollar and now it's 16-to-1, or you know, Zimbabwe's money where it's $100 trillion to a dollar, where that happened. Like, you know, to have less people in charge, to have no one in charge of what the supply is, where they can just change and artificially inflate it. I'd rather a system where no one has that power instead of someone has that power.
Yep, thank you.
Hi, I have a question. Thank you for sharing. I learned so much. Can you elaborate more on your investments in Africa, please?
It is not my investment at all. It's the Cardano project and their goal to improve banking and the financial system in sub-Saharan Africa. I don't know enough to speak about it, but that is a huge goal of the Cardano project. So I would look into that on your own time.
So CardanoProject.com is their website?
I think it's cardano.org.
Cardano. Can you put it?
I'll type it in the chat.
Thank you. Thanks.
I think you guys in the chat are talking about Elon Musk and Dogecoin still. He didn't risk, what are you saying? He risked capital for a meme? I'm not sure what capital he risked. It was just like everyone was talking about Dogecoin and then like posting pictures of Dogecoin through the moon, and he also did. There wasn't like a risk that he did with Dogecoin.
I think
Todd, there is some speculation that he invested in Dogecoin. Is that true, or is it?
No one knows.
No one knows.
I doubt it.
No one knows. He did not. He's also from the same the Silicon Valley area. He has buddies connected. They had some of the closed room. Also, the meeting happens, of course, in Elon Musk. So I wouldn't be too much into it. What he's doing. But yes, he does tweet about Dogecoin. Just like all the other memes, he does.
I mean, like everyone was sharing at the same time, and they put it in their profile, Doge to the moon, and it was just like everyone was doing it that week. And
plus, on the Super Bowl, they had an ad, right, on Super Bowl ad.
No, that was a rumor.
The rumor
that
was
you
they had
Mushi created that rumor. Yeah.
I don't know. I've been hearing that right now. The Dogecoin.
I heard UrbanHood had a Super Bowl commercial, right?
Right. Yeah. Heard it. Well, speaking UrbanHood, today earlier I just found out the Robinhood is their final date might be coming out in end of April or May. They're coming in IPO. There will be
Mushi, before that, Coinbase is coming on 14th, I guess.
Yes,
yeah, April 14th, Coinbase is going to be trading.
Yeah.
I think that I certainly will watch it, but I'm wondering if it might be smarter to spend the money that I would have invested in the Coinbase IPO into more Bitcoin. I don't know.
We'll see.
Yeah. People are asking, like Tesla is accepting Bitcoin for cryptocurrency purchase. That is true. What's even cooler is they said they're not going to then dump it for cash. They're going to hang onto it as Bitcoin. So that's interesting.
But anyway, not all of them are going to say when they're going to be dumping or not. We'll see what U.S. government doing with the digital currency. With currently MIT and U.S. Treasury, the department, they are doing a research project. Soon they're going to come up. When they're soon means they are next year in 2022. They are planning to announce something what they're going to do in that direction. So we'll see.
Todd, which platform would you recommend to open an account, Binance or Coinbase?
It depends what you're doing. If you're going to open a Coinbase account, then open a Coinbase Pro account. It's also free. But you get like the book order size and trading data that's not just available on Coinbase. You can like buy the coin. I think you just buy it on Coinbase and then you can transfer it to Coinbase Pro. It used to be like GDAX, but it's Coinbase Pro now. If you're planning on trading it. If you're not planning on trading it, then just Coinbase itself is fine. You only have like 10 or so, about 15 coins on Coinbase, I think, that they offer. So like what you can do on Coinbase that you can't do on Robinhood or Webull, like you buy, or PayPal, you buy the coin on Coinbase and then you can send the coin to another exchange. So they give you like an address that you copy paste. And then, so you could send it to like Gemini, or you could send it to Kraken or something like that, where you have like this on ramp where you bring your USD into the crypto sphere, right? So you don't have USD anymore, you have Bitcoin is usually what people will buy first. And then you can trade that coin once it's on another network, because Coinbase doesn't have all the coins. Recently, they like a couple weeks ago, they added ADA. But like you can't get Polkadot on, and that's like a top 10 coin. You can't get that on Coinbase. So you'll have to like either open an account somewhere else and then buy it there and keep it there, or you can like buy Bitcoin from Coinbase and then transfer your Bitcoin from Coinbase to crypto.com or to Kraken or to Voyager. You transfer it there and then you can trade it on that exchange. I think that was your question.
Yeah, I was actually asking the comparison between Coinbase Pro and the Binance, basically.
I mean, I think that they're different things. I think Binance is going to be more familiar to you if you're trading. If you're not trading, then I don't think it's important. Not every pair is available, and then not every asset, every coin or token is available. So it depends. You can look up which is supported where, and sometimes you're like, oh, I just found out about Avalanche. I really like that project. And you're like, oh, well, you can't get it here. You got to get it there. So you have to open an account on a place that supports it or buy it directly from someone.
Okay, thanks. Okay.
My view on altcoin versus Bitcoin. I think that we covered that earlier tonight, but like Bitcoin's a great store of value where you can buy it and keep it for 30 years, where in the long run, I think Bitcoin's going to outperform, but over short-term gains, you might want to look at different altcoins, because like for an altcoin to like have a 10x move where it increases in value like tenfold, the market cap of that coin might be $2 billion, and for them to like attract $18 more billion is way more reasonable than for Bitcoin to attract 19 trillion more dollars. So I think it can move faster, but when we go into like a downward cycle, Bitcoin's going to retain its value longer, and the altcoins are going to go down faster, most likely, because like people will sell all the altcoins and buy ETH or Bitcoin with it. And it goes up and down. XRP was not banned, like you're still allowed to own it, but you're not supposed to sell it on an exchange because of an SEC investigation, something about pre-mining it and reporting it a certain way. But it shot up this last day or so because they like in the SEC case were able to force the SEC to release the same documents that they had on XRP from Bitcoin and Ethereum. So like that win is what caused the push to go up. Maybe they're trying to show that they're close enough to ETH and Bitcoin. I don't know exactly. Something to do with that. Cold storage and wallets are an important topic if you're gonna keep your Bitcoin for a long time. If you're just doing short-term trades, where you're like buying Bitcoin and then moving it back to Tether or back to cash, or you're like switching between Bitcoin and ETH and then pulling it back to cash and withdrawing it, then I think it's fine to have it on an exchange. But if you're worried about like, hey, someone got my email password and stole my phone or something like that, they're able to like get into your account, right? Like they have your login. And if they have your login, they can like send your money to themselves and pass it around a few times. You can't follow it easily and you don't know where it goes. So with your bank account, you like it's FDIC insured and you can like contact the bank and then they have an insurance policy that, hey, somebody just robbed my bank account. Here's your money back. And that's not something that can happen with Bitcoin, with crypto. So what people do is they, take matters into their own hands and they download their coins so they're not on the internet anymore, and they're instead on their computer or on their phone or on a USB stick or like on a block of titanium that they've engraved like the key, the password for it. So that's something that you can do. It's called cold storage, where you have a physical device, and it can be as simple as a pen and a piece of paper where you're writing down the code words for the coin. And Coinbase will like give that to you if you tell them that you want to hold it and not have them hold it. That way, if your system gets hacked, you still have the paper to recover it. That's also a topic that I know a lot about, but I think it might be outside.
Right, those are outside. Today we just want to talk about cryptocurrency, guys. I see so many things unknown, and I think by looking at these questions also that most of us here in this room that is not very familiar with crypto, and we are all thinking that it's like money. Why can't government do this? Why can't so and so? This is the headache, not headache from government. You have to understand how Bitcoin just came up to get away from the government. Now you want somebody to take responsibility, It's going to be, but it's going to take time. And that's the reason every single country in the world try to figure out how to handle Bitcoin in a way to secure the civilians, public who doesn't have understanding, right? So while all those things in place, so you learn, but don't please just don't go just buy it because somebody told you, right? It's just like you would not open an account with Robinhood and just keep buying a stock without not knowing anything about it, the business. This is the same right now in crypto and on the whole digital currency world. There is so many crypto came up. So just like that, there are the currency comes and goes, just like in stock. There are the bad company, good company, private company, and there is a lot of fake stuff going on. Same way here is even more, right? So in complexity also there. So just learn with us. I will have the more sessions like this, and I will try to just share the recordings also for these sessions. I shared that not YouTube, the link here for our Telegram room. Once you go in the Telegram room, just mention that in private, please do not do it in public in front of everybody. Just you'll see me there. I'm one of the admin. So just private text me and in the room says that to add you in the crypto room, we'll add you in the crypto room. Okay. Or you can stay in the whole, the main room. It doesn't matter. All right. Thank you, everyone. And I want to thank Todd he spent his time and share. We had another gentleman, I guess somehow he's in overseas. So he just told me it's 4 a.m. for him in the 4 a.m. in the morning, and the timing did not work out. He will do in another time to share the content what he prepared. Okay. And our next in 2 weeks and on the meetups, you're going to see that next time we're going to do, we will have the Bitcoin, some of those misconceptions going around, a lot of misconceptions on Bitcoin going around. We will share, we will cover that topics. All right. Thank you, everyone. I will see you.